In the heart of Gaza, amidst the smoldering ruins and the echoing cries of despair, lived a young boy named Amen. He was barely 12, but the war had aged him beyond his years. His eyes, once filled with the innocence of childhood, now mirrored the desolation that surrounded him. Amen lived in a small apartment with his mother, Hala, and his younger sister, Yasmin. Their father had been a fisherman, but the sea had long since become a distant dream, inaccessible due to the blockade. Hala worked tirelessly, her hands rough from cleaning houses, her spirit resilient despite the overwhelming hardship. The war in Gaza began suddenly, with a sharp escalation of tensions that had simmered for years. One day, the sky, usually a serene expanse of blue, was darkened by the ominous hum of fighter jets. The first airstrike hit the city center, sending shockwaves through the community. It was a harbinger of the devastation to come. Hala had rushed to gather her children as the news spread like wildfire. The streets were filled with panic, people fleeing in all directions, unsure of where to find safety. Amen, clutching Yasmin's hand, tried to stay close to his mother, the fear in his heart mirrored in her eyes. The once familiar streets now seemed alien, each corner potentially hiding danger. The early days of the war were marked by confusion and fear. Families huddled in basements, makeshift shelters became home, and the sound of explosions became a grim backdrop to their lives. Electricity and water became scarce, and the once bustling markets were deserted. Every day, Amen would walk through the streets of his neighborhood, navigating the maze of rubble and debris. The once vibrant streets where he played soccer with his friends were now a grim reminder of the conflict that had stolen his childhood. The air was thick with the smell of smoke and dust, and the sky, once a canvas of brilliant sunsets, was now often obscured by plumes of black smoke. Despite the devastation, Amen found solace in the small garden behind their apartment. It was his sanctuary, a place where he and Yasmin would escape the harsh realities of their world. They had managed to grow a few plants, tomatoes, mint, and a solitary fig tree. The garden was a symbol of hope, a testament to life persisting against all odds. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue over the desolate landscape, Amen sat with Yasmin in the garden. She was humming a lullaby their mother used to sing to them before the war. Her voice was soft, almost drowned by the distant sound of explosions. Amen looked at his sister, her face illuminated by the last rays of sunlight, and felt a surge of protectiveness. He vowed to shield her from the horrors that loomed outside their sanctuary. Their peace was shattered by a sudden, deafening explosion. The ground trembled beneath them, and the sky lit up with a blinding flash. Instinctively, Amen grabbed Yasmin and pulled her into their apartment. Hala was already there, her face pale but her eyes fierce with determination. "Stay down," she commanded, covering them with her body as the world outside erupted into chaos. The night seemed endless, punctuated by the sounds of missiles and the distant cries of their neighbors. Amen held Yasmin close, whispering stories of a better future, of a world where they could run freely in the streets and where their garden could flourish without fear. Yasmin clung to his words, her small hands clutching his shirt, seeking comfort in the fabric of his dreams. Morning came, bringing with it a fragile silence. The destruction was evident, but so was the resilience of those who remained. Amen helped his mother and sister clear the debris from their home, their hands working tirelessly to reclaim some semblance of normalcy. Days turned into weeks, and life in Gaza continued in its fractured way. Ayman's garden became a place of refuge for many children in the neighborhood. They would gather there, finding a brief respite from the war. Ayman would tell them stories, weaving tales of heroes in faraway lands, his voice a balm for their wounded souls. The hardships endured during the war were etched into their memories. Food and water were scarce, and electricity was a luxury that came in fleeting moments. Each day was a battle for survival, as families scavenged for essentials and shielded their children from the harsh realities. The nights were the hardest, filled with the constant threat of airstrikes and the echoing cries of those who had lost their loved ones. Hala often worked late into the night, her hands trembling with exhaustion but never faltering. She would gather Ayman and Yasmin close, telling them stories of their father and the days when their lives were filled with laughter and hope. Her words were a thread that kept them tethered to a time before the war. One day, a ceasefire was announced. The streets of Gaza were still scarred, but there was a glimmer of hope in the eyes of its people. Ayman stood in his garden, looking at the fig tree that had somehow survived the bombings. He felt a spark of hope ignite within him. "We will rebuild," he whispered to Yasmin, who stood beside him. "We will make our garden grow again." As days passed, the ceasefire held, and life began to cautiously return to the battered streets of Gaza. Aid organizations arrived with supplies, and families started to repair their homes. Schools reopened, and children, including Ayman and Yasmin, returned to their studies, eager to reclaim their education. Ayman's garden blossomed under his care, becoming a symbol of renewal for the community. Neighbors came together to plant more gardens, turning patches of desolation into vibrant oases. The fig tree stood tall, its branches heavy with fruit, a testament to their resilience. One afternoon, as Ayman and Yasmin tended to their garden, a group of volunteers arrived, offering to help rebuild their home. Hala's eyes filled with tears of gratitude as the volunteers worked tirelessly alongside the family, laying bricks and painting walls. For the first time in a long while, laughter echoed through their home. The ceasefire brought a fragile peace, but it was enough for the people of Gaza to begin dreaming again. Ayman, now a symbol of hope for his neighborhood, often spoke about the future, encouraging his friends to pursue their dreams despite the hardships. "One day, Yasmin," Ayman said, gazing at the horizon, "we will see the sea again. We will swim in its waters and feel the freedom we've longed for." Yasmin nodded, her eyes shining with belief. "And our garden will always remind us of how far we've come," she added. In the heart of Gaza, amidst the scars of war, Ayman's garden flourished, a beacon of hope and resilience, proving that even in the darkest times, life and dreams could take root and bloom. Thank you for watching this story unfold. If you found it engaging or thought-provoking, please give the video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories to life. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate each and every one of you for being part of our community. Together, we can keep the conversation going and inspire change. See you in the next video.